ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad shits. Subscribe. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Marvel Legends figure review. Not a Marvel Legend, but the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Chewbacca. If you're trying to pre-order these, you can do so at Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. I was actually able to pick this figure up on Force Friday. I was trying to get a Stormtrooper, but missed out on that. So this guy is number 5 of the wave over here, the Stormtrooper being number 4. I have the STCC version, but yeah, if anybody has a Stormtrooper for sale, let me know. I'll buy it off you. Anyway, we have Chewbacca right there. Nice art. And then on the side over here, you can see Chewbacca written. And then on the back, you can see Chewbacca again. And then there's a read-up. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Chewbacca out of the packaging. And if you're thinking this is going to be very different from the first Black Series Chewbacca we had gotten, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. We get a new head sculpt, though. We get a new crossbow. We get a new bandolier. They changed the paint apps on the figure, too, so that's pretty cool. We get some new stuff over there. I don't think there's a big reason to get this figure unless you want to save him for the new Han Solo figure that's going to be coming out when, I don't know when. I don't think that was actually ever announced, but I'm under the assumption that we're going to get an aged Han Solo, so that's why I'm hanging on to this guy. But anyway, let's take a closer look at this figure. So this Chewbacca also comes with his own signature crossbow, which looks kind of weak. Actually, I don't like this one so much. The plastic is very thin and terribly warped over here. You just say, oh man. And it does not have the silver dry brushing that we had gotten on the first Black Series crossbow. So you can see this one right here just looks a whole lot better, right? Here's your crossbow comparison. So that's a bit of a bummer though. The one thing that is good about this, the problem I had with this one, is that this would pop off very easily. You can see the peg is pretty short on that one. For this one right here, this tabs in a lot better. So just get this removed and you can see that's a longer peg that plugs in here. But they are different crossbows. You can see this one has little rivets right here on the back. This one does not, so yeah, they're just slightly different. And getting Chewbacca to hold the crossbow is still a bit tricky, but you can make it happen. I like weaving that part right there through the thumb, so that works okay. Now looking at this new Chewie head sculpt, I think it looks pretty good. I like it. I like that they have this bigger head over here. I mean, compared to the first one, you can see that this head is a bit more narrow, and he's got the roar going on. This looks a little bit better, I think, sculpt-wise, but I do like the paint on this one a lot more. I feel like this one doesn't really match the rest of the figure very well. You can see there's a lot of dark browns, and you get some highlights right here on the rest of the figure. This part right here does not have that. That's a big bummer for me. Looking on the back of the head, though, you get the dark brown paint, so I think that looks pretty good. And the bandolier is different. You can see that these squares are all a bit bigger than the original one. You get a little bit more over here, more of a tan color. This is a much more darker brown. The satchel looks a little bit different too. You can see right here, this is just more of a tan color. And this right here has the dark brown mixed in there too, so I like that. Looks pretty good. And the fur on the rest of the figure is pretty nice. I like this, you know. I really like those highlights, so the fur looks pretty nice. Whether I prefer one over the other, I can't really say. I like them both. One thing I am noticing though, a sculpt difference right here, is that there's this big gap on the new one. This one does not have that, and I searched all the way around on this guy. He does not have this weird gap. I also noticed that the ab crunch on this one is a bit better. This one doesn't really have much ab crunch at all, so I wonder if it has something to do with this piece over here. I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, you know, Chewie looks pretty good. I like the toes right there. He has peg holes underneath his feet, so yeah, not a bad job. And in case you're wondering, you can swap the heads on these figures. Removing this new head right here, though, it does take some might. This one's a lot easier, so let's see how that looks. Right there, you can see that this looks actually pretty good over here. I actually think that works out very, very nicely. The shadowing effect and the paint actually matches up very, very well between these two, but unfortunately, the new Force Awakens head sculpt doesn't really work well with the original Black Series Chewbacca. Then here's a look at the two of them with the head swaps from far away. So looking at Chewie's articulation, you can turn the head side to side a little bit. It is tricky though. But yeah, you do get that movement. It doesn't really move forward and back too much. You just get a little bit of that movement right there. The shoulders move outward, they move forward. He bends at the elbow, not quite 90 degrees, rotates at the elbow. He has a wrist swivel, hinges up and down at the wrist. You get this diaphragm joint up here, and it doesn't really crunch forward and back. You get this other waist joint over here, and that swivels side to side. Not really much pivot, not much ab crunching at all on this figure, really. He does have hip joints that move outward that much. You can kick forward and move back. You get an upper thigh swivel. full single jointed knee that does not meet 90 degrees. You get rotation at the knee. Then the ankles move down just a little bit. It's hard to get in there. And they move up a little bit. And he does have ankle pivot. Now this Chewbacca is pretty tall. He's standing at 8 inches. Then here's both Black Series Chewbaccas side by side. And I don't really know which one to say I prefer out of the two of them. I think I like the color choices more on this one over here. But I do like this head sculpt a lot. So it's hard for me to say. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Then here's Chewbacca next to my other Force Awakens figures. We have Finn, Rey, BB-8. I still need the regular version of the Stormtrooper. This is the San Diego Comic-Con version. Then we have Kylo Ren. And I still need to hear from Darnell. Alright? Your figure's waiting for you. And then here's Chewbacca next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Chewbacca! Oh man, I got a great Chewbacca impersonation here. Check it out. Ow! Oh, my arms! So this is an okay figure. I personally don't think it's a huge improvement from the first Black Series Chewbacca figure, but I still think it's good. I'm gonna hang on to it, hoping that I can pair it up with an aged Han Solo figure. Hopefully we get one of those in the future. I hope you guys liked my review. If you did, please hit the like button, click any of the boxes over here for more Shart in your eye. Check out my Patreon account. You guys helping out. It's very, very much appreciated. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go to JediInsider.com for a photo gallery of images from this review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
It's the damn it.